Do you feel like you have to have everything under control? This message might change your perspective. Stay with me, because what comes next cannot be ignored. Welcome to the reading for Libra Sun or Rising, and for those watching for someone dear with this energy. While shuffling, the energy came with an image specific to you. Libra is weighing things up, taking stock of things, plans and options. Lost in thought, concerned about the future, wanting to anticipate. Because you consciously build harmony step by step, and that takes a lot of energy. The cards come with an important message. Not everything you don't control falls apart. Sometimes what you let flow settles more beautifully than what you force. Before we go into detail about the 6 main positions, I want to mention that 11 additional cards fell out. A large number that shows just how much energy is moving for you right now. The first card that came out is the 2 of Wands, a person holding the globe in their hand looking toward the horizon. It represents planning, deciding on a direction, the moment when you choose where to go, a direct confirmation of the intuitive message. You are in the phase of weighing your options and planning. The second card, the Hanged Man, represents a voluntary pause, a different perspective, the conscious sacrifice that brings deeper understanding. It tells you that sometimes the wisest move is to stop and look from another angle, exactly what the scales do when weighing. The third card, the Star, represents hope, inspiration, healing after a difficult period, and divine guidance. The card describes a light that shows the direction is right, even when not everything is clear. The fourth card, the King of Swords, speaks of absolute mental clarity, truth spoken without beating around the bush, and the authority of reason. It tells you that you have the mind and discernment needed for the decision ahead. Next, we have the Wheel of Fortune card, the 5th card, which symbolizes the cycles of life, inevitable change, the moment when the wheel turns the page. What was down rises, what was stagnant starts to move, the wheel turns, and now it turns in your favor. For some natives, the card tells you that a situation or a person from your past is returning, and now is the right time for things to be set right. If you have done things right, you are rewarded, and if not, you are given the chance to adjust them, to be fair with yourself or with others. The 6th card, the Hierophant, represents traditional wisdom, the advice of a trustworthy authority, deep knowledge. It can also be your mirror, the just, fair, and wise person whom others turn to for advice. Now is your chance to be your own wise authority for yourself. Next, we have the 10 of Cups card, which is the card of emotional and family fulfillment. Complete harmony, the rainbow above the house. It is one of the most beautiful cards possible and basically represents confirmation that what you are building leads to genuine and lasting happiness. We also have the 2 of Swords, which depicts impulse, a difficult choice, and in some cases, the refusal to see both options. It tells you that there is a decision you are avoiding or that seems like a difficult choice, but at the same time, it tells you that avoiding it does not make it disappear. Then we have the Justice card, which speaks about fairness, correctness, cause and effect. For Libra, justice is at home. It is your natural energy. It comes to confirm that what is right will be acknowledged and that state institutions, contracts, or official decisions may play a role during this period. The 8 of Wands card symbolizes speed, news that arrives quickly, things that suddenly start moving after a period of waiting or stagnation. It confirms that once the decision is made, things speed up. The 3 of Wands shows you expansion, the first fruits of a plan already set in motion, waiting for results with patience and vision. Someone is looking toward the horizon. The ships are returning. In short, this is the story of the 11 cards. You are at a moment of weighing and planning with a perspective that requires you to pause and reflect, but also with hope and clear guidance, with mental clarity and wisdom. The wheel turns. There is a decision-making deadlock, but justice and the Eight of Wands. The Three of Wands confirms that after the decision comes swift movement and fulfillment awaits you on the horizon. This is not a consequence. It is the map of what you are living right now. In the past, we have the Sun, one of the brightest and most beneficial cards in the tarot. It shows joy, clarity, vitality, visible success. A period when everything seemed to go well and your energy was at its highest level. A child riding freely on a white horse, the sun shining with no clouds. Your past has known such a period of light, clarity, and genuine joy. This is the foundation from which your present comes. It is an important reminder that the light has not disappeared. It still exists, even if in some cases the current situation seems more difficult. The present brings the Ten of Wands, a man carrying 10 staffs on his back, bent under their weight. The road ahead is visible but hard. It is a burden carried for too long. The accumulated responsibilities, the expectations of others, the weight of keeping everything in order. For you, Libra, the Ten of Wands in the present directly confirms the intuitive message. You are tired of weighing, planning, and controlling so much. You are carrying too much. Maybe for others, maybe out of a sense of duty, maybe out of fear that if you don't control things, everything will get out of hand. But the Ten of Wands comes with a question. Of all the duties you carry, how many are truly yours and how many can be let go? For the future, we have the Eight of Pentacles, the dedicated craftsman who works methodically to perfect his craft one by one, coin by coin. It is careful work, solid construction through repetition, through dedication, through the ordinary quality of patience. The likely direction after the current period of overload, the future brings an energy of focused work and methodical construction. Not a sprint, but a construction. The Eight of Pentacles tells you that constant and careful effort yields tangible results. Focus, not multitasking, is the key to this period. So focus on individual things. Do things one at a time. This is the message being conveyed to you. For health, the Hermit appears, a solitary figure on a mountaintop holding a lantern in complete silence. It speaks of introspection, voluntary withdrawal, the wisdom found in silence and solitude. For your health, Libra, the Hermit brings a clear message. Your body and mind need peace and withdrawal, not more activity, more planning, more control, but stopping, silence, and time for yourself. The Hermit is not isolated out of sadness, he is alone out of wisdom. Give yourself this wisdom as well. In your career, the Seven of Cups appears, a figure standing before 7 cups floating in the clouds, each containing something different. Dreams, illusions, fears, temptations, possibilities. It is the card of multiple options, of beautiful dreams, but also of illusions and dispersion. For your career, the Seven of Cups confirms that there are many options, many ideas, many possible directions. But it is precisely this abundance of choices that can create confusion. The message for you is that this is the moment to do your research and choose the safest option to follow with consistency instead of remaining stuck, endlessly weighing these possibilities. Not all the cups in front of you are real, some are illusions. Discernment is the key for others. The Seven of Cups appears at a time of career change that you did not anticipate. And then the mind starts generating scenarios, fears, questions. Am I prepared? Can I handle it? What happens if I don't succeed? The card comes to tell you that you can handle it, but not with panic, rather with attention and calm, with patience. In love, and here the section becomes love or relationships, because the energy can also affect family dynamics or partnership collaborations. The Knight of Wands appears. It represents passion, adventure, quick movement, strong attraction. But the card also has a less reassuring side. This knight can be an inconsistent impulse, better at starting than at continuing. For some natives, the Knight of Wands represents a person with this energy who is entering or already exists in your life. Lively, passionate, enthusiastic, but possibly unpredictable. Remember, enthusiasm without consistency doesn't build for others. It is you, Libra, who is called to bring more spontaneity and passion into the relationship, to step out of the calculation and planning typical of your sign and make room for impulse, for surprise, for movement. The Knight of Wands can also herald news or a swift development in the area of relationships, something unexpected which comes quickly and changes the dynamic. At the same time, it can signify a period in which the relationship goes through a phase of heightened energy, tension, or a rekindling of passion, whether it is welcome or brings challenges as well. It depends, because this is a general reading. In all cases, the message remains the same. Passion needs roots. A beautiful but controlled fire. At the bottom of the deck appeared the Four of Swords and the Three of Cups. The Four of Swords is the card where we see a knight at rest, lying on a stone slab with his hands clasped together. It is the rest after battle, the necessary recovery, the pause that is not laziness but healing, a message similar to that of the Hermit. The foundation of this reading says that before any major action, you need real rest. The Three of Cups depicts three figures raising their cups in a festive scene surrounded by abundance. It is shared joy, friendship, communication, beautiful moments spent with loved ones. The foundation of this reading is rest and relational joy. Not more work, not more control, but rest and connection. These represent the foundation from which everything that follows can flourish. Let's now see what the other decks confirm. The phases of the moon tell you that some adjustments are necessary. It's confirmation that not everything is perfect, but also that not everything needs to be redone. Then your commitment is put to the test. It represents a test of determination. Luck is on my side, and we have it in the sign of Sagittarius. It is a warm and direct confirmation that the energy is favorable. An extremely intense apotheotic moment is approaching in the sign of Aries. It tells you that something important, a peak moment, is near and you are very close to reaching your goal. It is confirmation that your effort is paying off and that you are closer than you think. The time cards brought 4 Capricorn cards with the number 10 and the message perceive success. 10 is the number of the complete cycle of full accomplishment. It says that success is already there, you just need to recognize it. Next comes Gemini with the number 3 and the message Seek, Exchange, Dialogue. 3 represents communication and expression from a numerological perspective, an important conversation that can change the direction. The Friday card with the number 6 tells you to finish something. Just let it go. 6 represents a vibration of harmony, of harvest. Something needs to be closed so that something else can open. Wednesday with the number 4 brings you the message, take stock, be completely realistic. 4 means foundation and stability. A clear-headed assessment, not a fearful one. This is the one that helps. The stones and plants have brought the selenite cards with Edelweiss, which represent purity, spiritual clarity, and protection. The Edelweiss is a symbol of resilience in difficult conditions, of beauty that blooms where you least expect it. Brown jade with cloves speaks of balance, stability, and energetic protection. Cloves bring warmth and inner strength. Carnelian with ginger brings courage, vitality, and action-oriented energy, exactly what's needed after the current fatigue. Next is sapphire with pansies, which brings wisdom, mental clarity, and deep thinking. And the last card in this set, amethyst with lavender, speaks of tranquility, emotional balance, and spiritual clarity that supports a wise decision. The seasons have brought a complete cycle: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, which in itself is a powerful message. A whole cycle is ending and another is about to begin. We have Kara's card, which depicts a figure in a blue dress with blossoming trees, spring flowers, green grass, and a deer. The deer represents grace, sensitivity, and keen intuition, while the spring flowers symbolize a delicate beginning, full of promise. Next is the spring card, where we see a girl wearing a pastel dress, blossoming trees, multicolored flowers, and insects coming to life. It speaks about the expansion and joy of life returning. The Nemira card, in which green is the predominant color, features the fern, the horse, and the waterfall as symbols. The fern represents subtle regeneration. The horse symbolizes the freedom of healthy instinct, while the waterfall represents the natural flow of energy when you don't block it. Breaking out of stagnation, moving forward. November. A girl dressed in a copper-colored dress in an oak forest holding acorns in her hand conveys to you that the oak symbolizes strength and resilience. The acorns represent the seeds of the future. And even autumn carries within it the promise of a new cycle. On the February card, we see a thoughtful girl dressed in blue and white with a crown of red berries and glossy leaves. She embodies the patience and introspection of winter, the subtle beauty of wise waiting. Next comes the Koshava, with white as the dominant color, the moon, the snowfall, and on the card we notice that the girl is cheerful, wearing a crown of flowers on her head. Koshava is the winter wind that cleanses, that brings a kind of pure joy in simplicity, the snowfall that covers everything in fresh white. Next is the July card with the sunflower, a symbol of solar joy, of turning towards the light. And December in red and green with the snow almost melted. A little beetle and a butterfly as subtle symbols tell us that a period of luck, transformation, and rebirth is coming. December is not the end, it is the threshold between what was and what is to come. The complete cycle of the seasons tells you that you have gone through all the seasons of this cycle. Now you are at the threshold. What comes next is new. Now let's also see the messages from the angels. Love yourself and practice self-care. Both confirm the message of the Hermit from the health reading and the Four of Swords card at the bottom of the deck. So your priority during this period must be yourself. Not your plans, not others, not the balance between everything, but you with yourself, with your own rest and self-love. At the bottom of the deck, we have release and dreams. Physical release tells you that you need movement and to let off steam, while dreams, the angels are telling you to listen to your dreams, not to ignore them because they bring important messages during this period. Next are the positive messages you should say to yourselves as affirmations or mantras to raise your vibration, especially if you have any insecurities or uncertainties. The past is gone. Power lies in the present moment. I now overcome the fears and limitations of others. Every thought creates my future. I trust the process of life. I am fully ready to let go. I trust my deep inner wisdom. I completely accept my own uniqueness and I know that I am safe. It is just a change. If I were to sum up everything these cards have said into a single thread, it would be this. You have carried a lot. The sun from the past reminds you that you know what ease and joy look like. You have experienced them. The 10 of Wands in the present tells you that you have reached the limit of what you can carry alone, and everything that comes after the 8 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Star, the 10 of Cups. The apotheotic moment from the phases of the moon confirms that what follows is beautiful, but it does not come through more planning and more control. It comes through rest, through relational joy, through focused work, and by putting yourself in balance. You carefully weigh everything in your life. But have you ever truly placed your own deep rest? your own genuine joy, and your own essential self-love on that very same scale? Balance? The most important balance you can strike right now is not between plans or options, but between how much you give and how much you receive, between how much you do for others and how much you do for yourself. So put yourself on the scale too, because you deserve a place there. I remind you that this reading is a general one, reflecting the collective energy of the Libra sign or ascendant, and not a personalized one. So only take what you feel resonates with you and leave the rest. If you found this reading useful, I encourage you to press like and share it further, because the message might reach someone who needs to hear it. If you haven't done so already, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to stay updated with new videos dedicated to your zodiac sign. Subscribing is free. If you felt that you resonated, I'm looking forward to your thoughts in the comments. The question for you is, what have you neglected the most lately? Rest, joy, or time spent for yourself? That's all I had for you. May it be useful to you. Kisses. Until next time.